Hello everyone, my name is Brett and welcome back to City Skylines 2. Today is a pretty special episode because today a new Regents pack has released. Yes, I know that it came out on Monday or Tuesday, one of those days it did come out, and I'm a little bit late to the party, but don't worry because now I'm here to review it. And there's a lot of content in this. I mean, we have hundreds of buildings to choose from, hundreds of different styles, and it has come to my attention that this Regents pack now contains the tallest building in City Skylines 2. And it's right there in that picture. So I'm excited to get right into this. So let's waste no more of your guys' time and let's get right into it. Right, here we are in Stretton, because I guess that's the name that it provided with me. So let's get started. We're going to be starting from the bottom left to the top right. And yeah, let's just get started. We are going to be starting with the medical services. So the first one that we have right here is the Chinese People's Hospital. It's a hospital building that can accommodate hundreds of patients, widely recognized by the public for its excellent diagnostic and treatment efficiency and quality services. Amazing. Right now it's not very efficient because nobody lives in this city. Obviously, I mean, I wouldn't want to live in a city that's organized like this. But anyways, so it looks like we have two different upgrades. Its maintenance cost is $225,000 a month. It can hold 120 employees, and it can serve 400 patients. But when it's upgraded, you can add in a patient service house or helipad, which adds in a helicopter that you can use. Only one helicopter from what I know, which, I mean, hey, that's still good. It does have 19 vehicles that you can use, which are pretty nice, and you can see them right here. And since the new update, you're able to actually see the vehicles in the parking lot, which is a really neat detail. I can't believe that nobody really mentioned it. And you can even add in more ambulances, which adds 3 more in the front, and I think, what is it, 3, 4, 5, and then doesn't look like a lot of else. But a couple things that I am a little bit confused about is, oh, well, I guess that's just a sidewalk. There's nothing that I'm really confused about here. This is really nice. It's a really nice pack, and something that I am noticing is that we have some new textures. No longer do the buildings look new and clean. They look a little dirty, because that's exactly what buildings are supposed to look like when they've been sitting out there for months in the elements. It's definitely a really nice asset, and I'm a bit disappointed that we don't have a smaller medical clinic from what I can see. It does not look like we do when I choose this. It's only one option, but that is okay. But we do have a lot of opportunities for educational prowess. China has always been a very big advocate for education. They create some of the smartest people in the world, from doctors to scientists to lawyers. China is definitely up there in terms of education. So let's take a look at their educational buildings for City Skylines 2. First, we're starting with the Ruby Rock Elementary School. It has a maintenance cost of $6,800 a month, which is pretty darn cheap for an elementary school that can hold 800 students. For a comparison, because I'm actually curious right now, a small elementary school that you'd see, oh, it does cost less. Okay, it does cost more. So, but this one only holds 400, so that's not really a fair comparison. Let's look at, say, just a normal elementary school. This one can hold 1,000 students, and its cost is like almost double. And then when this is max upgraded, nah, never mind. This one is more expensive, so sorry about that. But anyways, it looks like this upgrade that I added in was the Ruby Rock Music House, a provision of an additional music room on the top floor. That sounds awesome. Being able to practice music on the top floor, that looks awesome. It looks stunning. I love the Chinese letters on the bottom, the sandboxes. Then we go into the back, and we see a nice little community area set with greenhouses. These look like little playhouses. I remember when I was a kid, I used to love these little playhouses. They were awesome to live out the fantasies of being like a lawyer or something like that, or like a doctor. Have you guys ever played in those? Like, they're like tiny houses that like when you're like a kid you'd play in. That they were fun. They were good. There isn't a lot of parking spaces, given that there's 800 students that could go here. I know that they're elementary, right? But that also means that there's 20 employees, but there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's only 8 parking spaces. City Skylines 2 has got to get that under control, because when we move on to the high school, a high school would not have this little of parking spaces. But this is just because I'm an American, right? So being that I'm an American, I'm used to my high school having like 200 to like 5,000 parking spaces available for cars, right? Like, it's crazy. But anyways, moving on to the Chinese aspect of this building, not the American aspect, because this is a Chinese region pack. It looks like this one holds 2,000 students. There are no upgrades for this, but it looks super duper nice, and I love the open floor plan of this. If somebody has visited China or knows somebody who does live in China, let me know if this is a common building theme among Chinese architecture, being that like you could see the inside of the hallways and you'd have an open floor plan like this. I know down in the Midwest, more or less the southern Midwest of the United States, we do have a lot of open floor plans that look like open shopping malls. So I'm really curious to see, because China is pretty close to the equator, if not it is on the equator. So I feel like a lot of the buildings that can be built there are kind of similar to like those you'd see in like Texas and stuff like that. So it's pretty interesting, but somebody let me know. But yeah, this is a really, really nice detailed asset. I love the cracks on the roof, again showing that it's been out in the elements for a while. And of course it's a big building because it is part of a big, big country. So moving on, let's say you graduated high school and now you want to go to community college. You want to save a quick buck. So the community college in the design style common in northern China. So I'm starting to see a bit of a trend here. Northern China seems to have more modern buildings, while southern China seems to have more traditional buildings, which totally makes sense. Being that it's I don't really know how it makes sense, but hey, somebody let me know. Again, I am not the most educated on world architecture. I'm more educated on North America architecture. Doesn't just include America, it includes Mexico and Canada as well. But yeah, the community college, it looks great. It has a total maintenance cost of $51,000 and $800 a month, and it can hold 6,000 students, which is pretty darn good. Its average time to graduation is about 3 years, and it can hold 100 employees, which is pretty nice. So yeah, that is a nice building. It looks very modern. I can see it being applied into any sort of build. It'll fit in very, very well, very nicely. The thing is about these Regis packs, it's the text. If it's in like a different language, it can stick out a little bit if you like zoom in and you're like, oh, that's not one that's like, you know, but this one doesn't have the text, but it's cool. Not that I don't mind, not that I like mind the text at all. Like I think it looks pretty freaking sick. It's just if you're going to try and make a city that doesn't, like I guess show culture, it's more just for design. I guess not having the text would be a cool thing, but I don't really see how that would work out. But yeah, no, this building does look super duper cool. And you know what else does look really cool? The freaking university. This thing is by far the largest asset I think we've ever had for City Skylines 2. Because when it's fully upgraded, right, let's say the baseline, right, 5,500 students. Not bad, right? Total maintenance cost $6,700 a month. Holds 15 employees. That's a little funny. But yeah. Max upgraded. It can hold 30,000 students. Its total maintenance cost is $250,000 a month, and it can hold 125 employees. This is by far the largest asset, and this isn't even showing the scope of how big you can make it. Look at how big the circle is. You can make this freaking massive, right? Like, this isn't even... You can probably get 100,000 students in here. So, yeah, if you're looking for a building for a high-population city, a high-dense population city, boom, there you go. You have it right here. It's incredible. So, these are the education buildings. We do also have a city library, which adds in a 1% college graduation chance, along with a university graduation chance, 5% interest in university, plus 5 well-being within 1 kilometer, and plus 5 indoor recreation. Awesome. So that's a nice little asset. I like it. So let's move on to... Like, oh, we do also have a couple of governmental buildings as well, so let's take a look at those. So, we have the following. The local police station. Maintenance cost, $20,000 a month, and it can hold 18 employees. Looks pretty cool. It also has six vehicles that you can use. I really like the parking spaces. They do look really nice, and I like how they're nice and angled right there. And I think that says service parking, which is nice. Pretty cool. This looks like a nice, modern, sleekly designed police station, and it looks functional. So what is this? This is an extra garage. You can add in double the parking space, and you can also add in, I'm pretty sure, double the amount of cars too. So that's nice that you can actually see that. And I think it added in some more parking spaces on the side too. But that is pretty nice. It is a nice building. It looks very modern. If you're looking for a hyper modern city, definitely go with this asset. Next we have the Chinese community kindergarten. Now, I've never actually seen a kindergarten in a City Skylines game before, or rather City Skylines 2. This is a really, really nice, nicely designed, and I love the architecture on the side with the awning being an entire floor, and how the bottom of this kind of like seeps in a little bit. It is super duper nicely designed. I love the fixtures on it. It just looks incredible. Like this pack has been doing so far. It's been doing a great job, so let's keep it up. With the District Hall, it adds a negative 1% loan interest and negative 1% import costs, which is awesome. We have a total of $77,000 a month you need to spend on this. It can hold 50 employees, but when you upgrade it with a courthouse, boom, it extends to 80 employees and 95,000. And it can also decrease negative 2% crime rate city-wide, which looks awesome. I love the design of this. It's very like square, very boxy. Again, very compact. Something that you would definitely see in China, given the fact that China is an incredibly dense country. So, you know, they need to look out for that when they're designing governmental buildings. A couple things that I am noticing, though, is a little bit janky path textures. I don't know if that was done on purpose or not. It just gives a little bit of a, I guess, a fake vibe to it. But other than that, you know, it's a good building, and it's also, again, it's a massive building. We have some pretty massive buildings in these packs. Along with the City Hall, nothing too extravagant. We can add in some city planning offices, which gives a negative 5% building leveling cost, along with same loan interest and import costs as well. Pretty cool. It can hold about 100 employees, and it's pretty darn nice. It mixes the modernity of northern China with the traditionality of southern China, and it looks great. So let's move on to some nice commercial buildings. We have the bookshop. So the bookshop is located in the commercial area of the city. Of course, the variety of books is rich, which meets the needs of citizens of all ages. Amazing. And it looks great. Again, very compact, very nice. I could see you putting some mixed-use buildings on the sides and on the back as well to cover up the non-windowed areas, which looks great. Next, we do have the city shopping mall. Can hold about 1,000 employees, which is pretty cool, given how small this building is. And then it adds in 2 commercial recreation, 5 well-being within 1 kilometer, 1 city attractiveness, and then negative 1% import cost, which looks awesome. So if you have this building, you have this building, then you have this building, you can get negative 3% of a loan interest rate, and then a lot like negative 1. So we have 3, and then we have negative 4% import cost. Hey, you know what? China is not the richest country in the world, or one of the richest countries in the world, for no reason, okay? They know what they're doing, and these buildings definitely show it, all right? They know how to save money. They know how to make money, okay? They know how to make that stuff come to life, all right? And then we even have the United Mall, a large old-fashioned shopping mall where citizens come to eat, drink, and have fun. It looks great. It looks awesome. We have a nice roof access building up here with some nice shops. I love that. Wish we had that here in the States. And then we have... what is this? Common groceries. Looks pretty fitting for a United Mall, though a little small. Maybe we'll have like a mall pack in the future. But let us continue down the rabbit hole. We have to go back to over here. I actually forgot these, which is the fire services, which are pretty cool. We have the Fire Rescue Brigade, which costs $10,000 a month, 12 employees, and it's a Chinese-style firehouse using a classic white and red color scheme. It serves as a hub for fire supervision, public education on fire safety, professional training, and squadron management. Looks awesome, looks modern, looks sleek. Again, can be incorporated into pretty much any sort of city. It looks great. It fits in perfectly, and I like the compact design. Again, I'm loving the compact designs of these buildings, but I also like how they aren't afraid to get a little big at some points, like this one right here. But let's take a step back real quick, because right here we have ourselves a fire station. Now, this is a large station that houses several fire engines. It can hold up to 7 vehicles, but you can also extend it to include 12 vehicles, which are pretty cool. And I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wow, look at that. That's pretty cool. So it costs $136,100 a month. It can hold 130 employees. And it has a pretty gigantic reach, obviously. It's a huge building. It has 6 floors, 7 if you include that one. It has solar panels. Wow, that's cool. I wish the solar panels did actually do something and they weren't just aesthetic use, like they would cost less to maintain, like maybe like $1,000 less. That's a neat detail. But anyways, we have the fire detachment. It's a large firefighting facility, which I assume would be put on the outskirts of a city. I do not see this being in any practical compact use because this thing can even have a fire tower, which is pretty interesting. A tower used by firefighters for training. With additional training, firefighters can now respond to disaster situations, which I assume can be for like skyscrapers and whatnot. We even have it inside. Look at that. Oh yeah, isn't that neat? I guess the training would be you'd have to jump 2 meters. Which is kind of funny. But yeah, that's a neat little detail right there. It can hold 150 employees, just a little bit more than the fire station, but still pretty cool as well. And it actually holds less fire trucks, so you should probably keep that in mind when you build this one. Next, let's move on to the actual things that you can place down in your city, from residential to office. We're going to go from the smallest. We have some nice 2x2 Chinese homes. They look pretty nice. They look pretty swell. I like the farmland at the back, showing the rural community of China does in fact exist. Moving on to some more, just a little bit denser. I think this can hold in about 2 families, give or take. But it still shows some nice modernity, and I love the boxy design. Then moving on to this, these are sort of the row homes, which look pretty darn cool. I love the fence gate. I love the surrounding edges on the building. And I love the new textures on the buildings as well. They not only make the buildings look dirtier, which makes sense because they are buildings. They're going to get dirty over time. But it also shows in some tiles, some a lot more red. I mean, look at that. We even have some nice traditional Chinese designs on the side trim of the building. And I love the curvature of the buildings. They do look pretty darn cool. Next, we have this building right here. It's a nice little garage space, you know, nothing too bad. Again, very rural, very rural. And then we essentially just have the exact same things going up from 3x3 to 2x3 to 4x4. And then that's about it. But moving on to these apartment buildings, these are some, I'm pretty sure, low rent. Yes, they are low rent. They look pretty, oh no, these are low rent right here. Let's go to the low rent ones. These are pretty cool. They have some nice, pretty unique designs. I've never seen these on buildings before. And then moving on to the medium density residential, we have a nice, of course, plus design. But I also like how this kind of like scoops in a little bit. It looks really, really cool, really, really awesome. It can hold about 144 people on the, I think on the high end, yes, and on the low end, it can hold 24 people. I don't understand how this would hold 24 people. I think it could hold like 50, but maybe like each floor is an apartment building, which would make sense. And then we have 16 households it can hold in on the super duper low end, on the compact end. So next we have the high density residential, which goes on past here. Again, the low rent can get very big. Right here we have some higher density residential buildings. Looking at this looks incredible. I mean, look at that. It looks awesome. It looks super duper modern. I could even see this being placed down on some American buildings. I've seen some American skyscrapers that do in fact look like this and this. I feel like high density residential buildings, it kind of comes full circle with different cultures. Because honestly, at a certain point, you can't really design buildings to look cute and pretty and aesthetic. You got to make them to look functional. And this pack shows it super duper well, but they still show some pretty awesome details like this one right here. Some nice roof access, which I think would scare the crap out of me if I was on these roofs. But it's really nice, and it looks like each section has its own little roof. I want to imagine these are like little community roof areas where people can go in and they can decorate it to however they want based on their section. But the most important thing that we have to go over is the office space, which includes some of the tallest buildings that I have ever seen in City Skylines 2. They are square, they are big, they are long, and they are girthy, and it is amazing. Come down to Chester Street, you're going to find some pretty awesome buildings. This one in specific looks absolutely fantastic. I love the hexagonal pattern on it. It looks absolutely fantastic. This one has, again, some nice curves to it. We all like some curves. I have no idea why this has a train track on it. Maybe it's some framing. I'm no structural engineer, so somebody let me know what those rails are on the bottom or on the top. And then it's actually suspended above the air using platforms, which is awesome. I absolutely love the design of this building. This one serves electronics and software. Pretty nice. Then we have a parking garage on the bottom, a huge parking garage, which is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, nope, 6. Oh my goodness, 6 floors. So realistically, if you get rid of this, it's just the bottom right here, which looks like your pretty standard office building. This one has a nice little community garden area. I could see this being like the bottom is like commercial and then the top is office. I could totally see that being used like a tourist attraction. And it even has a pool. Since when would something like, oh, it looks like a little fishy. Oh, that's cute. That looks awesome. And then we have some taller buildings. But I'm sure you guys are probably wondering, hey, what's that giant thing, that giant bulge in the sky? Well, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. These are some of the tallest buildings, or actually the tallest buildings in City Skylines 2. So let's go over what they are. They are signature office buildings that you need to unlock. So starting with the local office building, it can hold about 10 employees. Looks like your standard office building, nothing too incredible. But I know you guys just want to see that, so I'm going to try and speed this up a little. Next, we have the downtown office building. It can hold 143 employees. Doesn't really make any sense considering that this looks like a pretty dense building. I think it could hold more, but that's okay. And its attractiveness is 12. Nice. Pretty cool. It actually adds in more interest on universities, which I think is actually hilarious. And then adds 5 well-being within 1 kilometer. And then we have, I'm going to butcher these names, by the way, so just get ready for that. The Peony Tower, a landmark office skyscraper in a curved modernism design. The architectural style and towering height embodies the spirit of modern Chinese urban development. Looks amazing, adds 36 attractiveness to your city, 1% office efficiency, and plus 5 attractiveness citywide, plus 5 well-being within 2 kilometers, not just 1. And then next, we have the financial center, 210 employees, 24 attractiveness, which is a little bit lower than this one, which I don't see. I think this one looks prettier than the other one, and oh, well, that's why these buildings can't hold a lot of employees. It's because it's hollow on the inside. Just a little jab, nothing too crazy. I get it. It would be monstrous if this was a solid block. It would tank performance. It's good that the creator did know that and did plan accordingly for that. Can hold 210 employees. Within 1.5 kilometers, it can add 5 well-being, 1% university graduation chance, plus 5% interest in university education. If you have all these buildings, you will be incredibly wealthy. Your city will make a lot of money. But here is the grandmaster of it all, the Skyline Palace. Towering at 500 meters, this near-futuristic skyscraper showcases the pinnacle of modern Chinese architectural ambition and innovation. As a globally renowned attraction, it draws tourists from around the world to experience its breathtaking design and panoramic views. Looks absolutely amazing. It reminds me of the Freedom Tower, and it is insane. Within 5.5 kilometers, it provides 5 well-being, which is amazing. Adds plus 1% university graduation chance, 5% interest in university education, plus 2% office efficiency. It can hold 538 employees and has an attractiveness rating of 54. Looks absolutely insane. Truly modernism at its best right here. So let's go over to the signature buildings now, because of course you guys are probably curious about that. We have the Western Observations Tower, which has 40 employees and 40 attractiveness, and it provides plus 20 indoor recreation. It is very similar to, if I could find it, where is it? Oh, wait, hang on, I just found it. I just saw it. It's very similar to this one, the Nasinieluella. God, I am so sorry about that. It's in temporary Finland. It's essentially just another Space Needle. It's like the observation tower, which has that as well. You know, like it's just a standard Space Needle. Looks pretty awesome. Oh God, I deleted it. Whoops. Hang on. Let's put that back real quick, just so we can gaze at its beauty. Next, we have the Yin Yun Tower, the Silver Cloud Tower. It's a 4-story traditional Chinese tower. I can see this being used as a pinnacle traditional Chinese tourist attraction if you are building a city that is primarily Chinese, which looks really awesome. Has 40 employees, same one as the other one, except it has an attractive rating of 149, which is absolutely insane. Maintenance costs $280,000 a month and has 100 outdoor recreation. Looking awesome. So, what are my thoughts about this pack? A lot of people are probably wondering. I think it looks awesome. There's a couple of janky textures that I've noticed in a couple of the buildings, like the high school and the university. A couple of things clipped together, but it's nothing too extravagant. I don't really see it being an issue as long as you zoom in. So, I'm going to be giving this Regions Pack rating an 8.5 out of 10. The janky textures definitely take some points off, but the Skyline Palace definitely adds a lot of points, along with, again, creating the tallest structure in City Skylines 2. I don't think this pack gets enough credit for where it's due. I think it's absolutely awesome. It creates bigger, better buildings that can really add some nice modernism and highlights to your city. So, those are my thoughts about this. That was my review and my thoughts about the City Skylines 2 Chinese Regions Pack. Something I am excited for, though, is that they just released the West and East Coast USA Regions Pack release dates, so I'm going to be super duper excited to show that, and expect to see a lot of those buildings being put in Sonder County in the future. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is Brett, and this was Yap City. If you enjoyed my yapping today, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below what you want to see next. I appreciate your time to spend it here watching me yap about pretty much anything there is to yap about. So, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out, stay frosty, stay curious, and remember, add these buildings to your city. They look awesome. So, bye-bye.